Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Set. 8, read. All day, every day, any day. Check. General West. 2.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Go. 60.
Operating from the gun, Alexander. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8.
Ready, set.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Check down.
From the gun, Alexander. Complete to Amaro on the right side. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Let's bring it. Come. Check right, 27.
To throw on 3rd down, Alexander. And that will be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
Set, ready, 50, plant. Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. Here we go, team. Here I come, here I come.
Off play action. Weaver. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Weaver. It's caught. Smith. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And this one complete to Smith. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Looking to throw. Weaver. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They will run the draw with Jacobs, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Here we go. Set. 10 logo. Snap.
They'll swing this complete out to Hill. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Got it. Topper! Go! 58, Mike. Pick it up! 58, right.
From the gun on third down. Alexander. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
We're scoreless after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
Hey, Alpha. 54. Mike 54. Watch the curve. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. They got X3. They go.
Back to throw. Weaver. The open man is Smith. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Looking to throw. Weaver. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
First down, Vikings.
You ready?
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. Weaver. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Vincent Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big pickup of 38. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
Yeah, now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw. Alexander. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Yep. Motion. Hey, check motion man. Put your hands on him. Get hands on motion man. 60 Mike. Hey, wahoo.
Defense, give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
600.
Operating from the gun. Alexander throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jacobs. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Alexander. They complete it to Hill. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Off the play fake. Alexander. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Let's go.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Let's go now. 30 base. Ready.
On 2nd down now. It's Jacobs, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Looking to throw. Alexander. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Mike spot 4. Coming to you.
Throwing on 1st down. Weaver. Escaping the pressure right. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Weaver. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll run on first down. Jacobs. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3. At the 36-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this one is right down the middle. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. 54.
Throwing again. Weaver. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Yo. Smooth. 54, right there.
2nd and 4. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
54. Let's go. Ready?
from the gun on third down. Weaver. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Hey, box truck. Check Mike 54. Line 54. Right here. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. Get it.
On 4th down, Weaver. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Weaver. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down, but they'll get it back.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Hey. Mike 5-4.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Hey, Delta. Right there. 54. Right there.
On third down, Weaver. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 20-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Mike 7. 54. Mike 5.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got Smith here. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. And you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I got it. Check 99.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready?
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They trail offense. First time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Look at me. Zipper. Go.
2nd and 11. Making the catch is Sternberger. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
All day, just like that. Recon, 132 fighter. Now. On me. Nice 57's right.
To throw on 3rd down. Alexander is going to find Hill here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
That's another Packers first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Jacobs now. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. Alexander. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. The Packers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Watch the edge. 80 weapon. Yes. Hey, Alpha. 57. Mike, 57. All right, T, let's go. All right, T. 57.
Operating from the gun. Alexander, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Matchbox right. Hey, you.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game now? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Check 24, check 24.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 14. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, exit.
2nd and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick is good. And the lead grows to 4. It's 13-9. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47.
Go, go. 60 mark, 60 mark, 60 mark. You ain't going nowhere. Hey, wahoo! Let's go!
From the gun, Alexander. And he will find his man on the outside. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On second down, Jacobs. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On first and 10, Alexander. And it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Check three. Go. Hey, Charlie. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. 5.
To throw again. Alexander. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Alexander. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
On second down, it's Jacobs. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Yep. Smooth. 60 Mike. Target. Go.
Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, echo. Check 13.
On 4th down, Alexander. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Hey. I got you. Hey, Foxtrot. 60 Mike. 2.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. He'll be ridden out of bounds. Didn't even come close to sniffing the end zone. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
At the 7-yard line.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Hey, Delta.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Let's go, defense.
Look at me. Zipper.
Hey, 58 to Mike. Go 58 to Mike. Watch the slant.
Hey. High 7. Ready.
He's back to throw. eluding the pressure right. And that's a touchdown late in this affair.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Extra point right down the middle. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. From the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
He's not going to get me. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm coming.
He'll look to throw. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I know it was a completion, but probably not the best decision to throw the ball into the middle of the field here. No timeouts. Give a ton of credit to him making the catch and finding a way to get to the sideline and get out of bounds.
Let's go now. 60 or.
Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Alpha.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Watch the screen. Snap.
Back to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Two-jet bombers. Two-jet bombers.
throwing again. Weaver. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson.
The second down pass intercepted. The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready?
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I think you'd have to label this an upset. Yes, they were at home, but still an upset. They got the job done.
Yeah, even being at home was not enough for people to think they were going to pull this one off. But give them credit for playing not just a smart football game, but one where they were going to be physical about the whole thing. They put up their fists and said, let's fight, and showed their crowd that they were into this one.
Then that's the thing. The crowd responded. They were really good in this game.
Yeah, they were not going to be pushed around. They were not going to be intimidated. They refused to back down and came away with a victory.
So for the Packers, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's their first stumble of the season as they'll dip to 8-1 on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.